everyone. Hi guys. Hi those that are watching this back, and a huge hello to everyone who's already here before me. Hi Kenny, Honor, Lou, Kiwi. huge hello. Let me look up. Who else have I missed? Morticia, Elizabeth. Thank you for coming on over. So as you can see, we're doing something a little bit different today. Hiya Annie. So hiya. Gillian, it's Sammy. Wrong stream. Hi, Sam. Hi, Katrina. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Sarah. Hi, darling. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Janet. Hi, everyone. So, yeah, you can see. That's okay, Gillian. Easy mistake. Hi, Pickle. Hi, Leonie. That's okay. You lurk away, lovely. Hi, everyone. Remember, if there's anything in particular for me, pop it in caps. Hi, Sarah. Gillian, that's fine. Look, I've just got my giant cup of tea, but halfway through. Hi, Susan. Yes, of course you can, Susan. Hi, Randy. Hi, Joey. Hi, Art by Bloom. Huge hello. A huge hello to everyone today. Hi, Susie B. Hi, Joanna. Hi, everyone. Oh, wow. We got quite... What mug have I got today? My mug of the day is a mini one. I got a mug of the day is my Minnie Mouse one today. Hi, Robin. Hi, Rick. Yeah, I'm good. Hi, Melody. Hi, Jude. That's okay. You lurk. You do what you have to do. Okay, so I picked one out of Fairytales by Emilie Lidehall Oberg, and I just wanted to show you. I got these because Shalene. Hi, you Di. That's okay. You lurk, lovely. What's the outliner for the Inktense just to draw with? Yeah, it's just to add a shadow. It doesn't. Hi, Desiree. Good morning. Hi, Candy. I bought these for the channel, guys. So we got Cozy Christmas colouring night, our Christmas one, and they had a Christmas chat pack, and I thought it might be good to just sort of have a look at what types of questions we can do, and there's some good ones in here. I've had a quick look, not much of a look, but yeah, we're gonna. Oh no, you can't find your brushes, but they're for the Christmas. Anyway, so and then I doubled up and I got these for the channel, and I thought, oh, you know, we can have a little look about them. We don't have to do the whole thing, you know, we don't have to sit here for the entire time doing chat pack. But if we wanted to have a little look and like just have a good conversation about different themes and different things and what to do, I thought these might be a good little thing to have just for the channel. So I bought two of them. I bought the Christmas chat pack one, being coming up to Christmas, and I bought the chat pack favourites. So there's lots of really good questions in here, lots of them. Hi everyone joining. That is flying by. Yeah, if I've missed anyone, thank you for coming on over. So I thought I'd buy these for the channel. Thought it'd be a good little investment for the channel to see what, you know, they're like. And if we like them, and there might be some good little questions in there. You never know. So as I said, we're going to be doing Inktense. And I've also got in here, I don't know if you guys have got them. Oh, no, Robin. Yeah, get yourself a new one. Hi, Becca. They've got the Derwent Graphitint. So I'll show you. So in here, I've got the Derwent Graphitint and the Derwent Inktense, and I've just got, because I didn't know if I'd, you know, how to use them. Like I say to most people, if you've got a product that you're not quite sure about and you can buy them in single stock, buy them in single stock first and see how you get on with them. So that's exactly what I did for the Zurich. I think they're the Kuretake Zig Clean Colour Real Brush Pens. They're a watercolour one. But I wasn't sure if I'd like them, so I thought I'm not buying a whole pack of them if I don't know how to use them. So you've seen them, they're like a brush tip, they're a watercolour marker, but they're like a watercolour in a brush. So they're a water-based one. So it's like they act like a marker, but they're also a watercolor. But I'm not quite sure you know, what I think of them yet, because I've never really used them. So I thought I'll buy some singles and see how I, you know, got with them. So we are going to do Derwent Inktense predominantly, but we might head over to the Graphitints. They're all in here. So I did think, I don't know if this will be a colour along, but we can pick up some hints and tips and tricks on how to do the Inktense along the way. I have swatched them out prior to this, which would be going from the most vibrant of the colour to a lesser colour, so fading it out. So there's quite a nice selection. This is the full 72 set. And as you can see, some of these colours, you do have to swatch the Inktense out because they look nothing like they do on the barrel. The barrel and how they are dry. So you can see here how they are dry, which is these tiny little squares I've done, are nothing like how they look on the barrel or how they look when they're wet. So I highly recommend that you swatch out Inktense because they really do need a swatch. So as you can see with the Inktense, there is a good range of colours, and although some of you have them, you know what to expect. Some people aren't that either confident or sure, or, you know, they're a little bit of a beast to themselves, or a bit of a creature, as Melody likes to say. They're a creature because they aren't like a watercolour. Once they are on your paper and you activate them, they are staying there. They're not going anywhere. They're not budging off your page. Hi, CB. Hi, everyone that's come in. They are not budging for dust. They're ink. They stick. So hiya, Dash. Good to see you. They are not going to budge for the life of you once they're dry. They're ink. They're not like watercolour. You can't keep moving them about. Once you do them, they are dry. However, the Derwent Graphitints, they are really movable. So I think prior I have swatched them out. So if you bear with me, let me have a look if I've done those ones. The Graphitints, they're really good. And they're something that, as I said, you can move them. You can move them about. I'm sure, here they are. So these are the Graphitints, and they're very earthy, and they're gorgeous. And once you have put them down on paper, you can move them about as much as you want. Inktense, you can't do that. And look how much more bright and vivid they are. They're really vivid on a page. So once you lay them down, you've got to be really, really, really careful with the amount that you put down, because you can put too much down and you won't have a difference between light and dark. So less is more with Inktense. Then you can always build on it. Whereas the Graphitints, you can put a heavier lay down. Okay, Desiree, go and sort yourself out, hun. So you can see the difference. They're beautiful. I absolutely love the colours in the Derwent Derwent Graphitints, but the Inktense are amazing. So we're going to have a go with them, and we're going to try it into this page here. I've put all of the links for the products and the book in the description. I have got the Swedish version, which is Sagolikt. Hi, Mum. I have got the Swedish version here, which is Sagolikt, which was I got it when it first came out. You've also, hiya, Jamifran. You've also got this in the English edition, which is on Amazon platforms, and it's called Fairytales, and it's by Emilie Lidehall Oberg. And the reason I chose this one is because, one, I like the illustration, and two, I think it's a nice picture with Inktense. I can just see them being really vivid. Now, I wasn't going to go for the traditional as such colours, but I just want to give you a little kind of, to be honest, Inktense aren't my most used pencil. Bear with me, everyone. Andrew's just phoning. I just need to tell him I'm on here. Hello. I'm streaming. All right, love you, bye. Bless him. Oh, sorry. Okay, love you, bye. So it's not my go-to, and I'm not going to say I'm completely confident in them, but I'm not confident. I pretty much will jump in and give things a go, you know. And I have used them for a recent picture. Ah, Janice, you saw it. You're welcome. So I'm going to just pick out some colour palettes. Now, I quite like the idea of going a little bit darker on this one, and I like the idea of some darker greens. So we're going to use our charts and our references, and we're going to look at more towards like the fern and leaf green, spring green. You know, these greens at the bottom are really nice for the leaves, but some of the leaves I will go a little bit lighter towards a beach green or somewhere along those lines. We'll we'll make a difference between them. Yeah, I know, but you know. Oh, and by the way, anyone that was wondering what the Jane Davenport sets look like, this is what they look like. So I did. Someone asked they look like. Someone asked me the other day, and I was like, here they are. So these are the Jane Davenport sets. You know, your little sorts, the small sets. So you've got the bright set. You've got the neutral set. These are watercolors. And you've got the Glitz C set. And you can see how vivid that they are. Gillian, refresh, darling. See if that works. So we're looking at water mediums today. And we will do more. We will do more towards watercolors, you know, as I've got a big plan for the next couple of months over what videos I'm going to be doing. So we will include them in, but we are also going to be doing, you know, what we've got planned. We've got to be doing the Inktenses. We're going to be doing our hair tutorials. We've got some other pens coming up that I'm learning. So there's a good few things that we're going to be doing over the next course of the few months. So we've got a plan, guys. We've got a plan. So I'm going to zoom you in, and I'm going to just get myself all settled and sorted and get all my stuff. So I've got it all for you. We're going to bring down the light and make sure you've not got glare, and we're good. Yeah, pens. We've got some pens coming. We've got some stuff coming. Markers as well. We got some good stuff on the way. I've done a planner. I've got a planner, and I've planned out my next couple of months up till the end of January. So yeah, we've got some good stuff coming. We've got some content. So we are just going to just go on in there. I am, just because for denting or anything, I do put something behind. You don't particularly need to, but I really, you know, just something I've always done. Grab yourself a tissue and grab yourself a smallish, but you can have a range of pens. I've got the Zig Detailer in the yellow. There is a smaller one in blue, and there's a larger one in purple. But I am going to use my favourite, which is the good old trusty yellow one. And I've usually always got a backup of this, just because the brushes at the end can fray. And after a while, they do get a little bit yucky, and you want to just completely, you know, change over to a nice new one. Lou sent me this one, and then I got myself another one. So I was like, okay, let's get this one. So I have got a planner, and I have got some things, and I'm also starting, guys, just another little, I'm starting to make one of these up so we can share these soon. So I'm making up colour combinations. I'm using my Lady V designs. I've put this on my last stream. This is in the description. Hi, Gemma. Good to see you. Yes, you have caught me live. Hi, Louise. I'm so happy to see you, Gemma. How are you? I just read your beautiful comment before I came on as well. So I've got to get around to replying. So how are you, Louise? I hope everyone is well. It is a weekend now. And if you're so late in the country that you are somewhere in the world and it's nighttime, don't feel bad if you need to go sleep. Melody and Kiwi, bless your hearts. Right, so I'm going to look at, I thought of something like the Shiraz, which is a really nice colour. As you can see, it's like a wine colour. Happily retired and totally unorganised. You don't need to be organised now. That's the point in retirement. Good for you. Okay, so we're going to go towards like a Shiraz. I'm looking at the red violets, the Shiraz, deep rose, and I'm going to go along with these kinds with the greens. I think they'll go hand in hand. I don't really want to go with something as deep as or as bright as a fuchsia. I think that's a bit too bright. But I'm looking along the lines of the Shiraz and maybe the Thistle. We'll go with what comes. There's a nice red oxide, by the way, too, look, which is a really nice deep, it's going bordering like a burgundy, really lovely colours, some beautiful colours in Inktense. So as I said to you, when you're looking at them like this, these do not match what they swatch. So whatever you do, if you're going to do one thing, swatch your Inktense. You don't have to swatch out all your pencils, but swatch your Inktense for sure, because they are so different to looking at them in the I'll show you how and why. You look at them in there and they are totally different. Let me show you the end, and you look at them and you look at the end and it looks similar-ish, but it does not give it a good representation of what it actually swatches like. So we are just going to go on in there. I think we're going to give our little jeweled bug, because I'm going to do him like a jeweled bug, I think. And I'll kind of show you kind of the amount that I'm going to put on the paper. Now, I know quite a few people are not as confident in Inktense because of knowing how much to put down. Oh, turkey lady. Bless him. I was still laughing at that. So this is Shiraz and this is 0600. And I'm not going to put a huge amount down, and you'll see why, because I'm going to drag the pigment. So I'm going to go around the edge. I'm going to have to bring you down a bit. You're going to go for a ride for a minute. Okay. Let me get you all adjusted, guys, so that you're not... Is that nice and clear now? Okay, so you can see the amount that I'm putting down. So you can always add on top after. So you don't add too much on paper because you really do drag the pigment down from this one. And as I said, you can always add by putting brush tip to, your brush tip to pencil. So it really is a case of just putting down the amount that you're looking for. So we're going to fade it out. So we're going to go from the edges to start with. Like with anything, like we do with our layers in our dry pencils, we can always adjust the amount after. But go in little first, build up after. You sold all your budget pencils. Didn't make much time on page shifting, but I felt good somewhere. Oh, well, go with what you like. That's the key, isn't it? Go with what you like. Okay, so you want to get your bit of tissue because you're going to do the wipe off as well. So you can drag, don't forget, when you start this, you can drag your pigment out. Now, I do the whole wiping thing. Don't worry about these little bits there. The reason I do the wiping is so that you can drag pigment out. And as I said, don't worry about little first, drag out after. This is how I've always done the Inktense. So you start off small. Don't worry about these little ones because we're going to do those a darker colour anyway. So you wipe off and drag pigment. They are so solidified once they are on your paper, guys. So they really are a case of act quick. If you don't act quick, you are going to have lines because they dry like mad. So it really is a case of start small. Turkey lady. And then you can always add in as you go along. Hold on, everyone, because that's not showing the true colour. So we'll go a little bit heavier in a minute. There we go. So we'll go heavier by getting to your pencil. And that's what I mean by adding on. My brush isn't too wet. So it is just a case of adjusting it to how you want it. And wait for it to dry before you then start adding on. I'm going to go a little bit into the middle here. And it's just doing it how you like it and adjust it to your liking. Now, some papers will not take and withstand a lot of water. So be very, very, very wary about the water that you're putting down on your paper. I mean, most of them will just work to what you want them to. So don't worry about the spots because we'll go over those. Hi, Sky. So thanks so much for the help you give everyone for me. What's your time? Make everyone so happy. Thanks so much. Ah, Barbara. What a lovely comment. Thank you so much. That means a huge amount. Thank you. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you all, you know, really do. Okay, so with regards to the darker spots, what I was thinking was going with the dusky purple. So we've got a dusky purple. So I'm not going to bother putting that on. I'm just going to get it straight. So these are going to be quite, I'm going to go for duskies and greens on this one. I'm going to go for like dark. And you'll see it just really, and we're going to go for pinkies. Hiya, Essie. Happy Saturday. I lose track of my days. Is anyone like that? I lose track and I'm so off course today. You know what time I woke up? 11:30 mine. 11:30. Who was that? No, I didn't have a good night's sleep and I was up so late and it puts my whole day off. I don't know about everyone else. So as you see, I just kind of wipe off. I lose track all the time. Oh my God, it's like, what day is it? You wake up and you think, it feels like yesterday and the day before. I have to look at the date every day, otherwise I have to remind myself. I don't know if anyone else is the same as me, but seriously, it's like, wow, time flies, everyone. It really does. Okay, so I'm just going with the purples and the pinks on this one. I'm just going to do them all very similar. Oh no, what, on my phone? Not yet. Oh, I haven't yet. I'll have to have a look through. I don't think this is going to be a colour along. This is more just how I use Inktense kind of thing. Because we've got the Fairy Miracles, which will be on Tuesday. Yeah. And we've got the hair episode. I'm just putting the dusky purple, which I'm fading out. And dusky purple is this one. It's like a really dark one. Yeah, I woke up late, Anna, and I've been trying to catch up on myself all morning, or say morning, all early afternoon. And I've got to catch up with messages and replies to, I saw as I was coming on YouTube, I had a beautiful message from Gemma on YouTube. So I'm just very lightly touching that and wiping off at the same time. And this would be very good with the tiny little detailer brushes. And I haven't got that yet. That's on its way. I bought one of those blue ones. So we'll get there with the layers, but you've got to let them dry first. Because if you don't, you're going to end up with, you know, a mucky mess. So let it dry and then layer up. But try to have a relatively dry brush so you don't allow that to just all spread out, especially on these little bits. So just keep it quite, I'm not, as I said, this isn't a colour along. This is more hints on Inktense, how I use them. As I said, I can only share the knowledge of how I use things rather than, you know, being an expert on them. No way. I'm just sort of sharing what I do. And with regards to anything, that's, you know, that's how I sort of see it. It's more sharing how I do it, how I sort of approach it. I'm going to put it on this bit as well. So don't forget with Inktense, as I said, they solidify as soon as they're down. So kind of just go with the flow and add it up as you go. No, I know it's crazy, but we've still got Cyber Monday, guys. Don't forget, although Black Friday's done, you've got Cyber Monday. And I believe it was Cyber Monday last year that did the Prismas. But I don't think they're going to do it. I don't. I think they're going to tease us last year and reduce them, and I don't think they're going to do it this year, which is sucky. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just I'm getting the first lay down of colour. So with the head, I think I will go with the dusky purple or the Shiraz. I might go with the Shiraz, but you can go with a darker lay down this time. So I'm going to be generous with my lay down. And I'm putting a fair amount down. And fading out. And that's the whole thing with this. I don't know. I don't drink coffee much. Yeah, that's it, Gillian. I was the same. Last year I got me and mum got one. I got one, so I ordered two. And that was just teasing us last year, wasn't it, Gillian? So this year they're like, hell no, I'm not giving you at that price. What? Why can't you just do that again? So cruel. Okay, so that was the Shiraz. So we're going to keep that quite heavy and wipe your brush off and drag some pigment to the middle. And that's the thing. If you want the middle quite light, drag some pigment in, but keep it relatively light. Then the darkest parts with your, your lay down that's the most, you can kind of fiddle with that. And that's just nice because you can keep that as your dark and just drag a little bit of pigment into your light. So you see the difference. It kind of keeps it as a difference rather than, a big one whole mass of color. So it is one of these things that I just play around with, and you'll see I put the brush tip to the, so it's as I said, this isn't a color along this one, this is playing with Inktense. So just keep it very minimal. Then with this, see, now that's dry again, so you can go in again if you want to. So get your Shiraz and go in again, and you can go heavy. Don't be afraid to put some color down. So wait for it to dry in between application, because you've got a lay down already now. So don't wait for it to dry, otherwise you'll tear your paper. So just wait for it to dry and go in again. So I'm not in chat for a second because I'm just concentrating on the amount I'm putting down. And I'm bringing some of that pigment up. So keep within your dark area and drag it up. You see the depth of it? So it will be a graduation if you drag pigment and wipe. The key of this, if you notice, I wipe a lot. And it's not because I'm wiping the pigment off entirely. It's so that you can have a difference in colour. But it does solidify, and see how much deeper that is. So it's all to do with that. And you have to wait for them to dry in between applications, because by Lord, you're going to be... Yeah, I know. It's just a nice colour. It is a nice colour. So here's going to be... I'm going to try and keep the bugs as close to as possible. But this is just, as I said, this is not a colour along. It's showing what you can do with the Inktense. So then I'm going to go back to the dusky purple. And this time I'm not going to do it from the brush to the paper. I'm going to do the pencil to the paper. And I'm just going to put a small amount, but make sure you've waited for that to relatively dry, because you're going to tear your paper. You can't do it otherwise. So I'm just going to, again, sort of drag some pigment out. And it's just playing with your Inktense. How many pens are in the set? 72. 72. I've put it in the description, the sets that I'm going to test out with you all. So you should have it in the description of this video so you can see what the set is and what you get in it. But if you want me to show you very, very briefly again, you get 72 These are the greens and the ochres. These are the blues and the greens. These are the reds, oranges, and the pinks. And these are some other blues, pinks, and the yellows. So they're the set. They're what you get in the 72. There's a good range of colour. Good range of colour. Really like them. And a huge hello to everyone that's joining me. We've got quite a few in chat. So as you can see when you zoom out, if you've got a graduation in colour, it's really lovely. And it doesn't go through. See? No, it doesn't. I can bring it up a minute, look, so you can see the graduation. I can't zoom it in anymore. I went to full zoom. I've just zoomed out for a minute. So you can really graduate, but you've got to wait for it to dry. So we're going to then do some greens and we'll blend them out. You can go in after with other pencils if you want to. Obviously, it's entirely up to you, but you don't need to. It does most of it. Okay, so we're going to look at these greens. So I love the leaf greens and the fern green, and I love the light olive. I think we're going to go for these ones. We're going to go for, I'm going to go for light olive on that one, and I'll just show you how to graduate that out as well. Hold on. You can also add in other, other ones. You can mix them, but you have to wait for it to dry. So we're going to just go. I'm going to go to. I can get my easel. Bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. I get my easel. Oh. Okay, I'm back. So I'm just going to fiddle around for a second. Is that a bit easier to see? Is that a bit closer? See, the thing is, if I come too close, it's going to go blurry. But is it blurry or is it clear enough? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go for light olive. And light olive is this one here. So we're going to go for that one. And I'm going to put a fair amount down. I don't want it to blur. Hi, Nika. So you want to have enough lay down where you can fade it out. So I'm going to come to sort of midway and bring some up to there as well. So enough on there, but not to oversaturate with colour because you'll end up losing a gradation. That's the thing. If you were to go over the entire thing, you're not going to have a graduation. So you have to put enough down to be able to have a dark area, but then graduate out like you would with shading. So I'm just showing you how I use them. As I said, this isn't a colour along. This is just showing you how I colour it. And then at the very end, I had also a request. So I'll show you how I colour wood with the Artesias. Because I got asked how I did the wood. And I sat there the other day and I was inspired by Desiree because she did a country charm picture. Then she happy emailed, bless her, the country charm book. And we've been doing, she did it first and I'm doing it now. And I did the wood. And I was like, oh, I'm really happy with how it came out with the Artesias. Never used the Artesias before. So someone asked me, I can't remember who, can you show me how to do the wood? And I was like, of course I will. Anything that you want that I've done and you want to be shown, just ask away. That's why I'm here. Okay, so we're going to put all the light olive down first before we go activating. And any additional detail that I like to put on, I go in with pencil after, and you can add all your details in, and you go in your Poscas, and you know, you can do all of that. But for now, treat your Inktense as the main. Hi Lisa. Hi Rachel. Happy Saturday everyone. As I was saying, you can use your Inktense for the majority of this. So we're just going with this little sprig here. So you can see the amount that I've put down, and I've left, as you can see, I've left a lot of white. Hi Dev. Hi everyone. Hope your weekends are going well. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday. So your Inktense, you want to leave white space. Don't do the entire thing, because you will end up with one block colour, in my experience. Yeah, so remember, get your bit of tissue, your paper towel. You want a decent amount of water on your brush, but don't oversaturate. And now you can start to put your colour activation by putting your water on paper. So you can drag that up, but you can see there's a difference. So too wet. I want to start that off. I want to drag some pigment up, but not too much. So wipe off as you go along. And as that starts to activate, it will be like a very dark green. I think it's a bit too dark. Hold on your screens, because that's not how it looks. There we go. So wait for it to dry. Again, go for it. Wipe off. And as soon as you activate that, that's ink. That's not budging. So you deepen it up after with colour. But your first lay down won't necessarily be your only lay down, but it's going to get you started. So your wiping technique is where you can graduate up. So if you notice, I do a bit, drag up, wipe, and drag up again, and then you get a graduation in colour. So it is a case of just dragging, wiping, and you don't have to do this as your final colour. We can add another one in, but it's your first lay down, so that makes all the difference. So again, wipe him. This is your first colour down. And that's all this is. With Inktense, I find that's just how it's worked for me. So wipe off. Every time I'm wiping off slightly, I'm dragging that pigment. And then you've got to be quick with Inktense, because if you're not, you're going to have those lines, because it's like like a marker when you get a streak. That's how they will act. Oh, yeah, I did my own. I put these little, they're like crystals, you see? And I sprinkled them all over. Yeah, I did my own, Lynn. So you can see the sort of how it goes. Wait for that to dry first before we go on in with another colour. Don't go in with another colour yet, because if you do, you're going to end up making that just a mess. It will go too wet, too splodgy, too messy. So you can't go in there yet. So that was the light olive. So you can go in with some light fern. But when you do that, as I said, just wait for that to dry. So if we get it ready, we need our fern green. Yeah, it's like these little round things that I did. Like they've got rounds and they've got the little crystals in. So I'm just, as I said, this isn't a colour along, everyone. I'm just going to zoom out a second because you're too zoomed in. If I did this as a colour along, I'd be adding other colours in and doing a bit more with it. I'm just showing you how I'd lay the Inktense down. So we're literally just doing this as I just follow how you do Inktense kind of thing. Right, so with the fern will lighten this up. You'll see the difference in the colour. It's quite a bright one. So this is fern green. Have I got the right one? No. Where's fern? There it is. That's the one. Make sure, guys. Yeah. So fern is like a lime peel for me in Prismas. And when you then start to add that in, it can really intensify this part. So again, you're wiping off and dragging the pigment. Hold on. I'll zoom you in. So it's got to be enough lay down to mix it. But why is it not showing me? I've got to get the thingy right. I've got to get the camera right. Bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. Okay, there we go. There we go. So I'm just putting some fern. Fern is 1560. And then we'll put a little bit more of the olive at the bottom. It just gives two different colours coming in. And the thing is, you can control it a little bit more when it goes from the brush. Take care, Kiwi. Have a good day. Well, I think it's very early where you are. Have a good day. Morning. So I'm just putting the fern in first before we move on to back to another colour that we've just put in. But watercolour, it's like a watercolour, isn't it? You can mix it. And it's very selective on how you want to add and do and take away and, you know, all of that. So again, I'm going back to my, what did you do, Honor? Let me go back. You're talking about nails. Last week you jammed your finger in a drawer. A couple of days after, helping your granddad build his wardrobe. Hammered the same nail. Oh, that must have hurt like mad. Oh, your poor finger. I'm going back to my light olive. Now you can intensify the colour because the bottom of it has dried a bit now. So you can mix them. They're a bit like watercolour, but they solidify in colour. You can't move them. You can't move them. They do not move for dust. Seriously. So wipe off. So I'm not going over the entire thing. And this is a quick demo first, and I'll show you as well. I'm going to bring in Graphitints after. So we're just going to play around today and see what they are like. And as I say to you, this isn't a tutorial. This is just how I'm colouring with them. Yeah, I can imagine that hurt like mad. That's got to dry. It looks different on drying to when it's wet. And remember that they look so much different. So we can try a couple of these chat pack questions whilst we are talking and colouring. So we've got a good one. We'll move on to the next one after, but it'd be good to see your answers. So I'm not going to do the Christmas ones. We'll do the favourite. Christmas ones can go after. So this is, you don't have to join in on this bit. These will be good. These will be good to see how people sort of, you know, you don't have to join in. Don't think you have to join in. You can join in if you want to. Okay, let's go for what's your favourite baby animal? So this one is, what's your favourite baby animal? Mine has to be a baby elephant. You can all join in on this one. Oh, this is a nice one because it gets people knowing each other. A kitten. Yeah, exactly. You can could you layer them like normal and then add water and make them muddy? You can do, but you've got to wait for them to dry and then they're solidified. Puppies for sure. I love hedgehog. You love my buzz then. Baby pug. Oh my gosh. A bush baby. a rabbit. These are good to do. I should do, after I've done this, I should come on and talk to you all for a bit, shouldn't I, face to face? And we should do these questions then. I'm going to just come back to this little guy, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the dusky purple into it. Yeah, I know, but if you could pick one, oh, baby otters, I love them. I'm just going to come into the Shiraz with some dusky purple and make that a little bit more heightened. Puppy, yeah. I love dogs. You know I do. I've got a dog. I've got a hedgehog, got a budgie. I love budgies as well. So I'm just going in. You can layer up 2 colours with the Inktense. So I'm putting the Shiraz and the dusky purple together. And as you can see, I'm going from there to the tip. And pugs, Gemma. Oh, it's so cute. You should see the state of my hair. That's why I'm a bit like, should I come on quickly face to face after and we do these for a bit for half an hour with a cup of tea? Should we do that? But you should see the state of my hair. It's like I got out of bed. Well, really, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I got out of bed like it. Oh dear. It's like, have I seen a brush today? No. Hiya, Grace. Okay, so you can see how to kind of use them. I don't know why this is so intensified. No, I don't. You should see this. Honestly, I look like I've rolled out of bed. So can you kind of get the gist of how to use the Inktense sort of, you know, you can do them, you can layer them, and they kind of do work really well if you layer them and wait for them to dry. So if you go for another like leaf green, I've got to try and find my colours in front of me now. Is that the one? That's iron green. What's iron green look like? Iron green. 1310. That's really not a nice, I don't like that one. So just looking at them, as I said, it's an unorganized stream for me, everyone. I'm kind of in, I don't know what I'm in. I'm in one of those, you know, those days where you just want to just take it nice and easy. This is the one I'm looking for, leaf green. So we can go down one side, can't we? Let's try it with this one. So this is leaf green, which is quite a dark green. And then we can add a little touch of something else into this one. So I'm putting a generous amount. Put a generous amount at the bottom, but fade it up as you come upwards. Hi, Nicotina. But yeah, what I might do, guys, is just quickly give you a should I just give you a demo on this? Give you a quick demo on wood, and then I'll quickly come on face to face. But excuse the state of my hair. I'll grab another cup of tea and we'll do chat pack for half an hour and have a little laugh. I think we'll do that. We'll have an easy Saturday because I have been asked to just show this. I've been asked to show wood, so I will fulfill that gladly. But we will get back to Fairy Miracles on Tuesday. Okay, so you can see the amount I've kind of put down. Hi, Shara. So I'm going to start activating it. Wipe and bring up some pigment, but not too much, because otherwise, as I said, you won't have a graduation. You want a graduation, so drag some pigment, but not a lot. So it's just enough to have a difference. So I'm wiping as I'm dragging, and my brush is not wet, it's just damp. So it just gives enough graduation. Yeah, Shalene, the colouring book Nook, she's got these chat packs and they look like a ton of fun. And I thought, you know what? We have the Christmas one at Christmas, but we could do chat pack for half an hour. I mean, I don't come on face to face often because I'm a colouring channel, but every now and then I'll show my face. I'll show my face, say hi. And as I said, excuse the bedhead. Well, I've always got messy bun. Okay, so I'm just enough to, I'm not making myself up all like I'm like a royal queen to come on quickly. I just laugh at myself because honestly, you'll say to me, Sam, have you seen a brush today? And my answer will be no. No, I didn't. I didn't see a brush today. I don't know what that means. Okay, so graduated up. They are very quick. They are super quick. So you have to wait a little bit for them to dry. And then if you want to add any additional, the good thing is you can just go with your brush and just put it straight to the tip. And as you can see, when you zoom out, you have a... Yeah, exactly. No, that's fine. Ladies, we don't need them. Obviously, they were created, but we don't need them. So you can see that Inktense can graduate like your shading without all the work. So you can keep just adding a little bit. Wait for that to dry though. So if you want to intensify the colour, go back to your brush. And then you can just allow some pigment to come up. You're wiping and allowing a little bit. So you have a difference. See the difference? You don't need to do all the shading with the pencils. I am having one of those days today, guys. Really am. I got up so late and I'm so behind on everything. That's why I think we should have coffee and chat, or tea and chat. Cuppa and chat it should be. So that is how, hi Nia, you can, this isn't a colour along, lovelies. We're just doing how to use the Inktense for a bit. So the graduation is quite pronounced when you drag pigment up, but you're not putting a lot of it down at the top. You're just putting enough at the bottom and dragging up. Yes, Yorkshire tea. Of course I got Yorkshire tea. It's my favourite. And if you want to add any other colours into things, you can always put some, you can go in dry with Inktense as well. So if you wanted to then go back after, you can shade a little bit. You can use pencils however you want. You make them work for you. Who said that you just have to do them wet? You can go in there with this and you can then put some shading in, look. And it works. You don't have to follow the rules. Who said about following the rules? You don't have to follow them. You can do what you want. So you can always go in with a little bit of shading after and you can make this little bug stand out. So that is what we're going to do. So when we've now gone in, we've got our Shiraz, we've got our dusky purple. You can go back in there. You can also, if you want to, you know, drag it out. But we've done that. We don't need to do that. We've done that in step 1. Step 2 is just intensify it a bit. And look, it's nice and shaded. So you get your Shiraz. You don't have to put any more in. And he doesn't need any more in. You know. Mark. Elizabeth, thank you. Honestly, Inktense is one of those we're all learning together. So we can intensify this little bug, this little tiny purple bug. We've got our Shiraz. Make sure your paper's dry though, guys. Don't be going in there when it's all wet. Because then you'll be coming to me and saying, Sam, my paper. I followed you and my paper went all funny. So he's nice and deep. He's not, yeah. You can use any pencil over the top. That's what I do. So then when these are dry, because these are nice and dry now, it dries super quick. Now, again, you can add just a little bit more and deepen it up because you've put some leaf green in there, haven't you? You've put some felt green. You've put a couple of greens in there. So now you can intensify that bottom. Wipe off, add, wipe off, drag it, tiny bit again, wipe off, drag, go back, wipe off, drag up, and that is all you're doing. You're sort of intensifying the just intensifying that colour. So bring it on. So just pull it up, drag the colour up. I just have fun. That's the main thing. Have fun with your page. You know, make your own rules. Wipe off, drag it, and that's what keep doing. So add, wipe, drag. Add, wipe it, drag it, wipe again, drag it again. Add, wipe, drag. And we've got it going now, see? So you've got a few colours going. And that's the good thing with these. You can kind of just go with the flow on it. Now, a little butterfly, I don't want to do him very, very different to what we've got. So we've got these. I just want to go with a purple. So we can look at dark purple. We're going to do dark purple on him. We're going to go with the same colours. Then I'll show you the Graphitints. So we'll go for dark purple. Yeah, make your own rules as you go along. We'll save the chat pack, everyone, and I'm going to come back to you after I've done this demo, the wood demo with the Artesias, and I'm going to come back for a half an hour coffee and chat. We're going to do chat pack for half an hour. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll show my face for a bit. So we're going to come with a purple now. I'm going to zoom you in. So that's what we do. I'm going to come on face-to-face for a bit. Okay. So I've got dark purple, and I think I'm going to go for in here. This is going to be quite dark, as you can see. So I'm going to drag the colour out, and I'm going to stop it about there. So again, drag it out and stop. Not too much colour, because you can add. We can add. So stop it about there. And you know that little guy, when that's dry, we can put a bit of Posca on him. So get your little bit of tissue. I try and be like a little bit cleaner, and we'll put the little bit there that isn't so dirty. Okay, make sure your green is all off. So I'm going to get some of that purple going. I'm going to drag off as I go because I want to keep the top of it a little bit brighter. So wipe off, drag some pigment, wipe, and you want to see a graduation. And as I said, you will have, this dries so quick. I'm going to have to zoom out because it's just going to blur you in. I'm going to have to zoom out. It just blurs. So when you're getting your dark purple, when you're starting to lay it down, if you don't hurry with Inktense, they dry super quick, and you will end up having to try and quickly work. So you wait for it to dry, and as I said, it looks different once it's dried. So we're going to drag some pigment down and out, wipe off, and just drag again, and see how quick that dries. You've got to be so quick. So quick with Inktense. Inktense dry like, oh my goodness, you'd think I'd have a hairdryer on it right now. And again, I'm just going to do that same bit down here. Drag it out. You have to wait for it to dry. When it dries, we can add again, but wait, because otherwise we're going to end up making our paper go funny. So wait for it to dry before we add in anything. It really does. Hi, Emelie. Okay. So I'm going to just add a little bit in here. Wipe off, drag up. And you can just play around. It's like a watercolour, but the only thing is it doesn't move. Once it's dry, it doesn't move. You've got to be so quick. And I don't add just one layer with Inktense. I never do. So it's just a case of having to kind of make it work for you. So we'll do this butterfly, and then we will do wood, and I'm going to go towards the bottom again. So I'm going to fade that out. So just keep going with it, yeah? Oops. And then I'll show you the Graphitint quickly, wood, and then we'll come for a chat. So what are you all up to this weekend? Anything nice? Apart from spending some time with me, bless your hearts. Okay, again, wait for that to dry before I add anything to that. So start bringing that colour in. I've got to be a little bit careful. Drag it over. I'm going to add some up here as well. The darker the pigment, the more noticeable the separation. So you've got to be very quick. Ah, Lou. Everyone, can you give some appreciation for Lou? You know what she's took, bless her. You know, I've been doing the little swatch cards for the channel. So I've been doing on the hair tutorials. Lou was having OCD freakouts at the different sizes that I used on when was I using it? On Thursday. So she has taken it upon herself to do all my swatch cards, and bless her, that's what she's doing. So appreciation to Lou. She's doing the swatch cards for the channel for you all. Okay, so again, I'm wiping, I'm dragging, I'm wiping, and I'm bringing out some pigment. So I'm moving it about on the paper, but it's not as vivid as in there. Yeah, I know, Nick or Tina. Who am I talking to? Which one are you? Hi, Carolina. So it's so lovely of her. I couldn't believe it. She's like, I'm doing them for you. I know, so many. So thank you so much. You know how much I was flabbergasted. Okay, so I'm going to get some more pigment off the actual pencil. And I'm going to drag some down. And again, I'm just going to add a little bit and sort of manipulate it a bit. That's what you're kind of doing. It's like a bit of manipulation. So, yeah, it's really nice to be able to sort of just not shade with pencils for a minute and just worry about the Inktense. So it does have a different look, you know it does. But when finished, the whole thing, when you've done it in one medium, so you've done it in your Inktense, you've done it in your Graphitints, you've not worried about your pencils so much. You can go in with pencil shading after. So it's entirely up to you. I'm dragging some pigment, wiping and dragging. I'm going to try and keep this as close to possible as I can to a certain colour palette. So wait for that to dry. And then I'm going to put Shiraz. So we'll put them in there. And again, I'm going to drag some pigment. So move it and drag it down, but not too much. You want a difference. So wipe in between, get it started, and then wipe. So you've got a difference in colour. Wait for that to dry, because the good thing is with this is you can manipulate it, but you've got to wait for it to dry. So again, if you're going to do these bits, I'm going to bring some pigment in. The Inktense, you don't go over the whole thing, otherwise you're going to have it just with one solid colour. If that's what you want, then that's fine. But if you don't want a solid colour, then you have to kind of leave some white spaces to drag some pigment into. So we're going to bring some of that out. I'm really sorry, Carolina, but it's an English-speaking stream. Otherwise, I can't understand you. You're welcome here, as long as you're not a troll, because I don't know what you're saying. Yes, of course, Nia. Oops. Sorry about that. It's Sagolikt by Emilie Lidehall Oberg, so Fairytales. So you can see like I've got a little bit of a difference there. So again, I'm going to bring that out, wipe off, bring the pigment into, don't worry about these little bits because they're going to be dark purples anyway, or Shiraz. So it's really, really, really important you work fast with these. Really important. Otherwise, you're going to end up with, like, as I said, you won't see, you'll have like a separation that will be very noticeable. So when that's dry, you can add more to it. And with the Graphitints, we're just doing a demo on these. With the Graphitints, I'm just going to do this leaf here. I showed you a little swatch of them. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. Okay, so these are the Graphitints, and you can see they're very, very, very different to the Inktense in terms of colours, because they fade out and they manipulate a bit more. So if I say that we'll go for Meadow, you'll see the difference. You have to put a lot more down. A lot more down. Yeah, I do, Donna. I do. And as this one's just my demo, I'm going to get myself another copy of this because this is just a demonstration picture. So Meadow, you're going to have to be quite generous now. So I'm pressing heavy and I'm going to come out. See the difference? I'm putting down a lot more. So with your Graphitints, they are a watercolor. So you're putting down a lot more. You're very heavy on your lay down. So when you're thinking about putting this sort of like on your paper, no, they're soluble. They're soluble. They are soluble. They're a watercolor. So you put a lot more down and they do drag out, but they're a lot more movable, which is good because they don't sort of, you can move them, you can play around with them. So you put a lot more down on lay down. And then you can then add, you don't have to wait for it. You can play around with it a little bit more, which I like. So if I get something like the Russet and I add that onto the Meadow, so I'm going to get it just onto my brush. You can move it around a bit more. So you can add that in. And I wouldn't advise doing it with too of a wet brush because you'll end up just peeling your paper off. So if you add tints in, wait for it to dry, and you can then go in again with a darker colour. So I'm adding in a Russet to my, if you add in a Russet, it'll go blurry if I come too quick. If I come up close, it's going to go blurry. Okay, so with the Russet, if you add that into the greens, you can move that and you can take away pigment. You don't have to keep pigment with the Graphitints. They're very movable, very movable. So you can sort of play around. You can add ones in them a little bit more of a play around, you know, than you would if you had your Inktense. Your Inktense are somewhere in between an ink and a watercolor, and the Graphitints are more of a watercolor and movable, so you can move them about on your paper. They're really good. They're not something you have to worry about just solidifying on your page, because these do. So now that little butterfly's done, we'll go in, we'll just finish him off, we'll add the finishing touches. And I don't want it to go blurry. I'm going to just come in there with my dark purple, what we were using. And we're going to add a little bit more. So you can use these as a shader. You can go in with Prismas if you want as well. You can use this as a watercolor base, your Inktense, if you really want to. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of depth. Like with most things, I very rarely do one layer. And that's just because the first layer is sort of my guiding point. Is anyone else like that? Sort of like I use it as more of a guide. We could do a whole picture, which I will do Maybe a Hannah Lynn one day with them, with Inktense. I've done a Hannah Lynn in Inktense and Graphitints, so we can do a whole picture in them, but it's more of a demo today, and this one was calling me to do a demo rather than skin tones and people, and I didn't want to do all of that. I thought it'd be better to just do a little demonstration. Okay, so you can get back on with your colour. So you wipe in between and drag some pigment around. And before I look into chat, which I will, I'm going to be in chat with you all soon. Because as I said, I'll come on, I'll do a quick chat, coffee and chat, or cuppa. I'm going to call it a cuppa and chat, which will be nice because I get time to then chat to you because I've been in teacher mode for the last few days in streams. So it'd be nice. It will be a nice thing for me to sit down and talk to like new subbies as well. So it'd be really nice. Okay, so I need a little bit more water on my brush because otherwise I don't get to talk to you and I miss things. So it'd be good. It'd be a good opportunity when it's important for me to get to sit and know you all, and we'll do that. Okay, so I'm moving some of that pigment. As I said, don't worry about these. Wipe off each time so that you've got a difference. I'm going to do those in white, so don't worry. And then you can sort of drag that out. And as you can see, there is a different pigment, but in between, I'm going to make these all glossy. So like with this, you can do a jeweled bug. You can add your highlights. So when this is dry, I can do that in between. These are, don't worry about your lines because they're going to be in whites. So we're going to do this as a jeweled bug. I'm just going to add a little bit more of a highlight. So like a little, we're going to do like a jeweled bug, but that's why I'm not worrying about these lines. The lines are going to be in white. And you can do these in white as well. So the Inktense are pretty good because they've pretty much done all your shading, haven't they? Like that. So the whole matter of it is when this, I can't, is this dry? I don't think it is. We'll give it a go. So these will be in white. So like all that, you know, they won't look like that. So yeah, that is pretty much how I use the Inktense. I will use them. I put down, I graduate, I wipe. So remember, when using Inktense, I don't know if anyone else does that, but wipe off some pigment in between and then drag the colour out. This isn't a colour along. This is just a demonstration of how I use them. Right, quickly, we'll do wood. We'll move this. So I'm doing in my spare time the Country Charm, which I'm not finished on this yet. So I was asked how I did the wood on this, and I used the Artesias. And the Artesias, I haven't got the full set. I've got the 48 set. I've got them in a wrap here. And these come with a variety of really pretty colours. Absolutely love them. So the colours that I sort of head towards when I'm looking at doing woods is a selection of a black, a light, I go for like a light ochre. Take care anyone that's leaving. You can go for either turmeric or yellow ochre. I think I'll go for the yellow ochre. I like to look at the burnt ochre, the dark chocolate and the cocoa. These are the kinds of colours that I'm looking for. So this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to quickly give you a demo so that you can see how to do wood. So I've still got it up here. So I'm just going to very quickly show you. We're not doing any colour alongs today. Take care, Dash. We're just doing demos, quick demos of how to. So I go over the entire thing initially with a very light colour. So with this one, I'm going to go over with a burnt ochre. So go over your entire area very lightly. And this is Artesian. I've got the 48 set. If you've got the 72 set, you'll have the entire lot of colours. And you'll have more, probably a better selection. So look at the sort of woody colours that you've got in your set. So I'm going to give you a quick demo. So go over all of these with burnt ochre, which is A113 in the Artesians. Artesians are a budget pencil. So I know I always use my expensive pencils, which is my option of choice. But I'm going to show you how to do them in a budget, which is the Artesians. So I think pretty much everyone has got these. And if you haven't, I highly recommend them. They are low priced, great quality payoff of colour, and they're just incredible. I can't praise them enough. And if you've got the 72 set, as I said, you're going to have a better selection of colours in that. So you go over the entire very, very, very lightly to start with. So I'm now going to go over to Coca. Now I'm going to start to look at where I want my dark and light to go. So I'm going to keep to one side and I'm going to bring some colour up into the middle. I'm going to bring you onto this so that you've got an angle. There we go. Yeah, are you all with my little tour here of what I'm doing? Okay. So I don't want it to be blurry, which it generally will if I go in too much. So Coca is a brown, but you're not putting too heavy lay down to start with. And on the underneath here, you're going to use that to shadow because you're going to have naturally a little ledge, which will darken that up. So go with where you want light areas of your wood to go. So you're kind of putting a bit of a lay down there. I know, Mum, they didn't have them. They didn't have them. I was looking for both of us. Okay, so again, naturally, under the ledge, you're going to bring this down. And I'm going to do a little bit darker on the bottom. And again, just bring up where you want these colours to go. So this is the Coca. So quite generous now with your pressure at the bottom. Bring it into the middle. So just keep with that first. Then bring back your burnt ochre because now you can start to think about where you want that to show. So I'm going to bring that in the middle. And in circular motions, work that into your Coca. So again, you can do this with any pencil set. So it's just little demonstrations today. And then we're going to have a little chat, which is good. It's nice, as I said, it gets me to know you, you to know me. And we can have a bit of fun with some of those questions. Because some of them might be silly, you never know. Sharon, sweetheart, they are Artesians. The Artesians, I've got the 48 set. Okay, now I'm going to go over to dark chocolate. Now I'm going to do this quite heavy. So I'm going to sort of really press it into my page. And this will be the darkest area. I need to change the title of this video to little demos. Inktense demo, wood demo, and Graphitint demo. That's what I need to do. Demo day. Quick demos. Okay, so back into these. Go again, heavy on the side, because you're going to start to change the look of how it looks on the paper. And underneath, you've got the ledge. So naturally, make a ledge. And then bring in circular motions down. And bring that in. You've got your two little birdies there. And then again, underneath the birdies, you're going to do that as your darker part. And circular motions work that in. And if anyone's wondering, this is Country Charm by Creative Haven, I think it is. Okay, then back to your burnt ochre. and work that in. And then your very lightest colour at the moment, what we're going to go for is the yellow ochre, which is 064. And I'm only going to use that literally in a little bit. So I'm working that into just the highlights. So just the highlights, so you can see how it looks. Oh, wow, Shara, what a bargain. So you can really see the difference in the wood grain. Then, if I'm not chucking pencils about, you get your black, and your black is obviously, you know, very final colour. Use where you want your dark areas to go. So naturally, mine's going to be at the top and underneath anything that might, you know, be on things like this is on it. And then I'm going to also bring very lightly that into it. So just a tad, not too much, but it's only going to be at my like darkest point. See, so it just starts to change it. These are not the watercolor ones, these are just the normal ones. So you can see the difference now. So we'll do a couple more. So we've got the burnt ochre in A113 on these already. So you make sure all of your slats, your planks, your wooden planks or slats, however you want to refer to them, have a coating of it. Hold on, guys. Let's make sure that I'm going to bring you up now. Just bear with me. Okay, so that you haven't got a glare. I don't want you to have a glare. Okay, there we go. So we've got that. I've put you up at an angle so there's no glare on this. So then, as I said, we go to our coca. And go over where you want that to go. So I'm going to the side of it. I'm bringing that down. I'm lessening my pressure there. I don't want this to have a glare, guys. There we go. So coca in the Artesias we're using. And I'm going to bring that up. And bring some of that colour into the middle. Yeah, I enjoyed doing those. Then I'm just going to get my burnt ochre as my sort of point of where I want my light areas to go. So work that into your coca and leave a little area where you want to put your lightest colour. Then grab on your dark chocolate and press down firmly with this one, and sort of as you're coming down to the middle, you can release your pressure a bit. You don't have to do this hard the entire way, but it makes it sort of where you want the dark to go. And naturally, wood is darker on houses and cottages, isn't it? So they have a nice dark wood on the front of their homes. Then I'm going to get the black and I'm going to make that darkest point underneath this ledge. Just work some of that black in underneath. And then I'm going to get my lightest colour, which is the yellow ochre. And I'm going to work that into that area. So you see it's like it's a graduation of colours. It goes from a dark with the black underneath. It goes from the chocolate colours into the burnt ochre into the yellow ochre. So if you want to lighten that up a bit, you can always grab back on your dark chocolate or your coca, either or, doesn't matter, and you can work that in a bit. If you want to darken your wood up, you wouldn't put the yellow ochre in. You could leave that out. So your coca is a nice colour. I love these Artesias. They've got a beautiful lay down. They blend amazing. So just working that coca in. You get back onto that burnt ochre. Goes into the middle. get to dark chocolate, work that in. And then your black. And your black can go underneath this leaf and just slightly into that one. Then your yellow ochre on the edge and very lightly put that in. So that is how the wood goes. Yeah, they are like them. I absolutely love them. They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. I mean, you know, you can have really cheap pencils. The Black Widows and the Artesias are amazing. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just finish this off with you. So you've got the cocoa again. So we're going to put the cocoa in. And as I say, release your pressure as you come along. So you're putting a heavier lay down in circular motions and then you're lessening it as you come along. And it's the same with this bit. You're kind of going and in circular motions, you're sort of releasing that pressure. I don't want it blurry. There we go. Oh, I love them, Jerry. I use them all the time. These are done in, all these leaves are Black Widows. This whole picture is done in Black Widows and done in Artesias. They're all of it. I haven't used anything else. Okay, then I'm going to go to dark chocolate and I'm just going to work that in here. So have you written down, do you want the combination, guys? Do you want me to repeat the whole combination or have you written it down? And then you've got your burnt ochre. And then your yellow ochre into the edges only. So it really does make a huge difference to do it. And see how quick and easy it is from laying your cocoa down, your brown ochre down, and your yellow ochre and your dark chocolate. It's just so easy and so quick. So quick, so easy, so simple. This is why I really want to come and have a chat down and sit down with you all. Because I'm missing everything in chat. You're all saying things are funny and I'm missing it. I want to be part of this. Okay, burnt ochre. I'm coming on face to face and having a chat with you all because I'm missing out on the fun. And I really want to sit down and have a little catch up with you all. They are, Jude. I highly recommend them if you've not got them. Then back to my dark chocolate. And the underneath is going to be the hard, like, pressure points. Above will be the hard pressure point. Mind your leaves. And then I'm going to get my yellow ochre. See? And I really like it. I really like the graduation of the colours. So, are you happy with the wood demo? Do you want me to do any more of you sort of gist of it, of what I've done so that I'm explaining myself okay? So cocoa, top will be your heaviest lay down because you've got the ledge. Okay, I'm just making sure. Dark chocolate underneath. Remember your points will be, you need to pick out points that you want light to be. So back to your brown ochre in the middle. So choose your areas where you want the other colours to peep through. And then your very lightest colour, if you want to add a little yellow hint to it, will be in the middle. And it really does make a huge difference in how it turns out. So as you can see on a grander scale, it blends in with the top. And as I say, if you really want a budget brand, Artesias and Black Widows, you can't go wrong. So just a little recap, it's burnt ochre lay down. So this is in the Artesias. Burnt ochre lay down. Cocoa next in circular motions. Dark chocolate then into the very tops. Bring a little bit of the yellow ochre into the middles to make the sort of different look of wood. And then the black to shadow. So you're going to bring your kind of black down underneath the ledges, you know, all of that. And you can also use it to very, very lightly go against the sleeves, so like they've shadowed the top a little bit. So it's just very small amount. So I love my Black Widows, Rachel. So I am going to come and chat with you all now, if you don't mind. I hope that you're all going to join me. Give me 5 minutes, make a tea, go and grab your coffees. We're going to do chat pack and a half an hour chat. Grace, you have this one, sweetheart. It's the Country Charm. But it'll be nice to catch up with you all. And as I said to you, don't judge my bedhead. Don't judge. I'm going to be coming on and having a chat now with you all. I can't wait. I haven't sat down and just spoke with you in ages. So I'll see you in like 10 minutes, guys. Please come join me in a minute so that we can have a chat. And we can break out these if we've got some time. So I'll see you all very, very, very shortly. See you soon.